What's up, man? So, real quick, just gonna give the spiel. It's not intended to be medical advice. This is just what I did to address my issues, and it's a learning experience, blah blah blah. You know the spiel. First things first, personally, I used a roller, just crack the back, open it up, crack it, give it the chill just for a second. But also do your traditional T-spine mobility, stuff like pec stretches, lat stretches, or you grab the pole and you pull it through. Also get that long head tricep. But the other thing that I found most success with was English. It's hard. One thing I found the most success with is getting a very, very small band, like the really thin orange ones, but putting it on some sort of rig and letting it adduct me all the way across my body, right? Slowly try to contract the little muscle in there. You can actually touch it, press on it so that you know what you're doing, and try to slowly bring it out as far as you can. Or not as far as you can, rather, to about 20 degrees, give or take, 20, 30 degrees. And do that for reps, controlled. Don't let your shoulder rise. Don't try to let your, don't let your traps take over. Don't let your delts take over. It's important. You can also press on your traps so that you know, or so you can actually dial down some of the tone in there. But I did sets of 20 right there, and then I would also do not abducted, adducted external rotations where I would actually put a water bottle here, right? And try to squeeze it and externally rotate it without letting my shoulder be here or up. It would be back and down. So it would actually look more like this. And then from there, after a week of that, I would do that literally every single day. I ended up doing OHP, which tempo OHP specifically. Very slow up, pause, hold, stability, tempo down. And I would find where the click started and where the pain started, and then I would slow the movement down through that specific spot, I suppose, and try to focus less on what's in my hands, not what's in my arms, not even so much my shoulders, but how do I do this without using like technical terms? Like the medial border of your scapula, right? There's two bones there. I'm sure you know what that is and all that. Focusing on that, trying to keep those down and together as much as possible. And once you get to terminal OHP, right, end range of motion, I would try to not let them move out this way to their max capacity. They will move out like that. It's a necessary part of terminal abduction. But we don't want too much because that tells us, one, your traps are trying to take over, your delts are trying to take over. When we want it to be depressed, retracted, stable as fuck, right? Same thing with a bench. Also, I noticed on your bench, you don't have a whole lot of T-spine mobility. Like, I know your arch doesn't come from the T-spine for the most part. It does play it plays a large role, but it's neither here nor there. I think T-spine mobility is a big thing because once that happens, it starts fucking up your mechanics with your scapula, starts fucking up your mechanics with your shoulder. It can lead to stuff like SupraSpinatis dysfunction, essentially. And this is all assuming that, at least with my problem, sorry if this is awkward, it's hard to do this without giving medical advice, is if there's no strict neurological issue, and it's more of a dysfunction situation or imbalance, it could be any number of things, as long as it's not strictly neurological. These are the sorts of things that can help. T-spine mobility is going to be super big, and I know like stretching is not cool anymore. I would tell them to read the literature, not just the meta. It's the whole thing. Anyways, just maintaining that ability to OHP and abduct without clicking is going to be super important, especially since you're a 400 plus bencher. Super duper important to keep that integrity. I mean, we see guys like Taylor Wilhelm doing like super easy seated OHP all the time. It's part of staying healthy. And I know Joey Flex doesn't like OHP for powerlifting, and I agree as far as the strength and the sport goes, but as far as the integrity, especially now that you have this sort of injury, if it is this sort of injury similar to mine, then there could be, how do I say it? It's like you have to maintain certain capacities, right? If you can't put your hands over your head, you're probably not gonna bench a whole lot more. If, just stuff like that. I don't really have to go into it. But anyways, the biggest thing for me, at least, was being able to get my T-spine mobility back to adducted, banded. Cables would actually probably be better. Come to think of it, I don't know why I didn't think about that before, because then it loads you from here, because of SupraSpinatis, it's up here, right? It brings you from here to about 30 degrees, and then the delts take over, and then the scapulohumeral rhythm starts. So I would actually, if I could go back and redo it, it would be cable. Try not to let this flap around too much, right? Keep it back and down, which is gonna make it a little awkward, but that's fine. It's gonna feel like you're pressing against your body, which you are, but that's fine. Again, adduct, slowly contract, a little bit of external rotation, about 20, 30 degrees. Tempo back, pause, tempo back, pause. And then as things start getting more comfortable, going higher and higher and higher, all while focusing on keeping those scaps together and down. That's something I do with a band, and now I'm gonna start doing it with a cable. For a set of 20, maybe 2 sets of 20, right before bench. I even OHP the bar just to make sure that my shoulder's not gonna click. Just like stuff like that. Again, you're brutally strong. Your integrity is gonna be super duper important. And I'm sorry if this was awkward. I'm really bad at talking.